Another gorgeous day in Southern. Hello again. I'm back. I've been painting. I've been filming as I paint, so it takes a while to make them into movies. But I wanted to approach the idea that you can improve your paintings. And I firmly believe that painting is very, very, very learnable, and therefore it's teachable. The ingredient that's essential is desire. And if you have desire and you put your mind to it, you can learn how to paint well. I want to talk to you today about at least 4 ways to improve your painting. And I'm going to go over them briefly, and then I'm going to show you myself painting, and you can perhaps see me in action. The first one is drawing with a paintbrush. It's considerably different than drawing with a pencil. You've got your figure and you know what you're going to paint, and you start painting, at least I do, in Impressionism. And this is kind of exclusive to Impressionism in a way, but there are a lot of factors that go into the definition of Impressionism. But painting with a paintbrush is usually you're blocking in shapes. You're not doing a fine line drawing. Now, especially if you're working small, you're going to be using your paintbrush and cutting away, is what I call it, cutting away the things that are not part of your subject. And you cut them away by paying attention to the negative space. So the negative space around my head would be this shape that's out here. So it's much easier to draw that shape than it is to draw this shape. And that is generally what artists do almost all the time when they draw, and especially when you're working with color on a paintbrush. So look for that in the film of the painting that I'm doing. The other thing is, and these are not in the order that you're going to see them, but they are constant. The other thing is you'll see me often take a color and lay it on top of another color that I've already painted. This is not paint by numbers where you're taking your little spot and you're putting your paint in there and then you're drawing a line and then painting the next one. This is a lot of overlapping. So that's one of the extremely forgiving, wonderful things about oil paint, is that it is forgiving. And by correcting mistakes, there's my dog Macy, by correcting any mistake that you make or redefining an outline really enhances the work as an oil painting, because it tends to soften an edge. It tends to unify the whole effect of the painting. So you want to be, don't shy away from taking your brush and overlapping into the face the color that you're bringing in from the background. The next thing is, it's huge, and that is, first of all, paint what's paintable. Paint what has a clearly defined sense of light and darkness and shadow. So you want to, as you're painting your painting, you want to clearly define what's in the light and what's in the shadow. And then you can even, in fact, it's considered a good technique to go in and group all your lights together with one big swash of color, and group all your darks together. You know, your values of your dark should make sense, and your values of the light coming from a direction would make sense as it hits the side of the face, the side of the apple, the side of the chair, that kind of thing. So you want to make sure that you have a really good, well-established sense of light and shadow. The other thing that you can do to improve paintings is whenever you use a bright color, be sure to include some dull colors around it, because that's what sets it off. You want to always have a situation where you can see some neutrals in there, and that makes your colors pop. And that's what people love to see in a painting. That's what makes a painting from across the room glow and shine. So keep that in mind, that you want to go from rich colors to dull colors. You want to have them in the same vicinity because they will enhance each other. And then finally, a very important aspect of making your paintings look more professional is to be aware of your edges. You want to soften and strengthen edges. And today I'm going to talk about softening them. One of the ways you can soften your edges is to take your paintbrush and actually blur. You're blurring more this way than this way. You're blurring your lines so there's not a strong line in between things. And what that does is it creates an atmosphere, sort of like the air is surrounding what it is you're painting, and the main object is sometimes contrasted very strongly by what's in the background, and sometimes you blend into the background, and that definitely helps. So you've got the ability to use your paintbrush to soften the edges. Another way you would soften an edge is by putting a color next to another color that is in the same family, but perhaps a little bit, let's say you've got some green background in the flesh of the face, you'd want to mix a little bit of the flesh of the face into the green of the background into the flesh of the face, and that would soften the line that's right there. And then another final way to create a softer line is to put two colors together that are close in value. If you squint your eyes with your colors, you can see, when the values are similar. And so you want to be aware that one is not darker and one is not lighter. Conversely, if you want to create a stronger separation between your edges, is to create a high contrast. But we'll talk about that later. All right. So here's the film that I made, and me painting a painting of a friend of ours, and let's take a look. There, that was, I sped that up at 2 times. If you would like to leave a comment and let me know if you think it'd be better to speed it up 3 or 4 times and make it go even faster, I would be happy to. I know, 8 minutes, it's like taking 2 hours and cutting it and making it down to 8 minutes, and then I could make it to 4 minutes actually. But anyway, I do love 8 by 10. See how cute they are? And if when you frame them, they really do stand out. I mean, you could just take four or 5 colors with white and black and make an outstanding little 8 by 10 you could frame. I use pictureframes.com. Actually, I have another source on the East Coast in outside of Atlanta. I'd be happy to share with anybody, and they make really good professional frames that they import from Mexico. But they're cute. They look a lot like the standard what they call plein air frames that were used at the 1920s, 30s, 40s, that kind of thing, and you see them a lot in museums. Anyway. If you would like to be alerted whenever I post a video, I would love it if you would subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, just go away. Anyway, I wanted to tell you too, I'm going to post that painting on my website in my special area. It's not on the hierarchy of paintings where you can find it that easily. You have to use the link that I put in my description box. So underneath this video is a description of the video that we just saw, and if you click those words, it'll show you some information, and I'll be sure to put it in there. And you can go and it's a reputable website with the Square, which is a well-known credit card processing system, and then I will ship it to you. It'll be available for probably the next, I said a week or 2, but I think it'll be more like 3 weeks, because I still need to get a fairly decent collection of paintings to ship off. Okay, see you next time. Bye.